And welcome into another episode of Off Script. My name is Zak Herbstreit. Appreciate you guys stopping in today, but we finally have some news today. In the off season where it's kind of dark and gloomy where it comes to news and not much is going on, we got some news today. The presidential roundtable on college sports is this upcoming Friday, but before I get into it today, if you enjoyed the channel, if you enjoyed the video, if you enjoy college football in general, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. It really helps me a lot, so I appreciate you guys. But let's talk about this here. While global tensions are a little high right now with Iran and everything going on, it's 50-50 on this if this meeting is going to kind of take place. But the question at hand is, what is so important that's going on in college sports, in college football, that the federal government has to get involved? Well, let's talk about it here. The discussion in general is just basically about the ever-evolving landscape that college sports have become, especially college football, with transfer portal, with NIL, and the kind of just no regulation on it right now. With NIL, it's still so new, being introduced in 2021, and how kind of people are cheating the system. Some schools are doing it better than others. And then with transfer portal, the rule before it was switched was you had to sit out a year, and now people are transferring to schools like, it's easy. It's like hotcakes. Like, hey, I want to go to an SEC school. I want to go to a Big Ten school. I want to go to an ACC school. And then go to 6 different schools in their college career. And I have my own thoughts on that, and I'll talk about it later in the video. But that's kind of the concern right now with just college sports in general, the longevity of how long this can maintain. Like, how long can we just keep at this current rate? And right now, it's not looking like a long time, just with different people going in the portal and not finding a home then. And then you have college athletes just kind of getting left out, which is, for me, you're just like, it's sad to see. But I want to talk about this meeting a little bit more into depth here, especially the people of significance attending this meeting. The Big Ten, SEC, ACC, Big 12, American Conference, and Mountain West Conference commissioners will all be in attendance, so it's going to be nice to hear from all the conferences around the country. The NCAA president's also going to be there, so it's going to be nice to hear from the NCAA and what they have to say. And hopefully the NCAA listens to the conferences, and the conferences also listen to the NCAA, and they almost come to a kind of an accord and be like, hey, maybe we can kind of meet in the middle and be like, hey, we're still paying players, but also like let's maybe put a cap on something like that. I'm just spitballing here, but something so we can kind of agree on. Because I know conferences and NCAA usually kind of end up bashing heads a little bit, and there's a lot of disagreement there. And, granted, sometimes the disagreement is valid, but hopefully they can kind of come to an agreement. It would be nice to see them come to an agreement. Also, Nick Saban, Tim Tebow are going to be there, and those are extremely well-respected people in the college football world. So hearing their opinion, being in that room is going to be extremely beneficial for the growth of our sport. But the concern here, and I quote Donald Trump himself, saying, you're going to have these colleges wipe themselves out. Colleges cannot afford to play this game. And what he means by that, and what I took away from that, is these mid-tier, lower-tier programs just in general, trying to keep up with these top dogs, just don't have the assets or the ability to keep up. And they're going to remain mid-tier, lower-tier, or even just not even exist anymore because of there's no regulation on NIL and transfer portals. Because if you say a mid-tier, lower-tier team, I should say, brings in a star talent receiver guy and be like, hey, we can develop this guy, he's kind of like the future of our team. And then a higher tier program just comes in and just like, no, actually, he's going to transfer to us. We're going to pay him this much money. Because the truth, the harsh reality is people are going to go where the money is. Nowadays, that's just how it is. And especially how kids' brains work and how they're wired, they're going to want to just, hey, they're paying me this much and you guys are just going to pay me this much. I'm going to go this, and they're going to give me more playing time and more opportunity to hopefully get drafted or something like that. That's what it's going to be like. So, and that's what it is like today. But my thoughts on this in general, the general gist of college sports, the overall goal of college sports, it's to develop young athletes into better people. And I feel like people need to realize this time that they're in college for is a fraction of their life. And I've went through this when I was an athlete, and I used to be the same exact way. It was like, I want where the money is, but I stayed at Ohio State all 4 years and got my degree and got out of there. But in general, the development of college athletes is what we as a society need to be instilling, because there's a small percent that make it to the next level. And I know a lot of these players think they have the ability to go over there, but I think it just needs to be reiterated that like your degree comes first. You need to be able to have a degree because, like I said, it's a fraction of your life what's going to happen right here. You're going to make money in college. Yes, that's great, but you need to be ready for what's next. My next point here is I think we just need a group in general to be able to regulate what is kind of happening around the college football world, college sports world in general. Need just like a court based on college football with either these hearings that are going on with people that are like, hey, I want to come back for my 7th year. And then I think there should be like a court dedicated to college sports, college football. I feel like that would just make more sense. And also it rules out the biasness too from maybe having like the Trinidad Chambliss thing where he had a Mississippi judge or he could have been like an Ole Miss fan and wanted him to come back. I don't know. I'm not saying that's true, but I'm just saying like allegedly there's no bias in there. It makes everything fair. But that's just like, again, we're just spitballing here. And then the last thing here, I think, and I brought it up earlier, the cap space in college football is becoming more and more of a real possibility here. And I don't know how that would work or like I said, just in general. But I think it's starting to become more and more reality to kind of even the playing field for everyone. And that will kind of bring back that old like recruiting in general does matter. It's not just going to be a recruiting pitch of come to us, we'll give you $3 million. It's going to be like, hey, come to us, we develop incredibly great receivers, and you're going to be set for life because you have a degree from so-and-so. But that's just my take on this. I get a little bit of passion about it because from what I've seen being in college and seeing the transfer portal and seeing these NIL deals, I'm like, he's getting paid that much? But yeah, that's my take on it. I want to hear from you guys, though. What is your take on this? What is your take on NIL? What's your take on transfer portal? I want to hear all 9 yards. But if you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll see you guys soon.